Hey everyone,
Top of the morning to you.
top of the morning, depending on what time zone you're on. Top of
Top
the
of bottom of
bottom
the evening.
bottom of the evening, bot bottom of the ninth.
Bases were loaded.
Batter up.
Carbon plates.
Surprise, everybody. This is now a podcast about baseball. No, we're
Haha.
talking about running. And not from one base to another, but
Yes.
very long distances, like
Ultra
way too
baseball.
long. Longer than your doctor would probably recommend, or any sane
Yeah,
person.
definitely agree with that.
Let's hear it.
Right. Yes. So today, I guess I can start with my update on which in the last episode I mentioned the Busan Ultra 100-kilometer beach marathon. Um, I finished. I successfully completed, got a medal. Did it go well? Not exactly. Did I hit the wall worse than I've ever hit the wall before? Quite possibly.
Check.
Was it a good experience? Yeah, yeah. Check, check, check. That's a new record of some kind. Worst wall ever. Yeah. So it was 50K out and back along the beach. First time I've ever seen the beach in Busan. For those of you who are a bit familiar with Korean geography, Busan is in the south, so it's a bit warmer. It's supposed to be warmer than Seoul, where I live, and I was prepared for that. So I have my typical dinosaur outfit, which is usually too warm anyways, but it's in a warmer city on the beach, so I'll definitely be too warm, is what I thought going into this. Anyways, we start at 5 p.m. and kind of run all night. Things were going well for the first half. I was really just doing well. Um, yeah, I think I was getting definitely on way for a solid effort, getting the PB of my 100K time. When 100Ks are not about PBs usually, they're just about completing, which is what this was in the end. But yes, 50K was great. I was feeling fantastic, had the right amount of energy gels, pickle juice, everything was there going well. What? Yes, it's only about 30 cents a pack for pickle juice. So I save money because it's cheaper than energy gels. Um, yes, we were going away from the city. So it was getting more and more lonely as time went by. And I was feeling great. So I went ahead of the main pack. There was a main pack way ahead of us, but like that, I was ahead of the main backpack. Not a backpack, but the pack at the back without back. But we had backpacks as part of our mandatory race gear. Those kind of backpacks. The backpack also had
Just to make
backpacks. So the
everything
front
thoroughly
pack,
confusing.
yes, there's a pack. No wolves.
So you're at the
Anyways,
front of the middle backpack.
something like that. Yeah, like the front pocket, or the middle pocket.
Right. Like a kangaroo pouch.
Anyways, exactly. And yeah, but overall felt great. Things were going well. Another runner, he tripped at one point and was like, had lots of blood, and that was bad. But I happened to have band-aids. I felt like a hero. I stopped. I'm like, here's some band-aids. Here's some stuff to clean up your blood. And I just felt like, oh, I'm a medic and I'm a volunteer. This race could not be going any better. Because I helped him, I'm going to get good karma and finish fantastically. Well, that did not happen. Because the last 25K, which is the same as the first 25K, but in the reverse direction, it was about 2 in the morning. And that's when we really got back to the beach. And my, oh my, was there some wind. And it was quite
Mm.
cold. And I could feel the wind just cool down, started with my thighs, like my lower thighs, and it just like told my muscles, exercise is over, it's time to stop moving. But I still kept moving. But I could feel like soreness, the soreness you feel 2 days after a long run or a fast run, any kind of workout. I felt that while I was still running because my muscles just assumed it was high time to quit running. And so I powered through from it was about 70K to about 80K like that. And it got so bad and so cold. And oh, it was so bad. And I just when I spent a lot of time alone, and there weren't many public bathrooms to go in and like warm up and just hide from the wind for a bit because the temperature itself was not bad. I just didn't think about the wind chill. But thankfully, in my backpack, I thought it was mandatory gear, so I brought an emergency blanket. Turns out it wasn't, but good thing I did. I ended up getting that out, putting it under my dinosaur costume, and making it to the
Mm.
last aid station eventually. And it was a lot of walking. It was really, really bad. And then there was about 14 kilometers from the last aid station to the end, and it was so bad. And they had a little fire. They gave me like a warm soup. I just held it. And I thought, oh, this is so bad. This is the closest I think I've ever come to giving up. I've mentioned in a previous episode in another 100K, I broke my toe, but I still powered through. And of course, I couldn't run. I had a broken toe. It hurt, but I didn't hit the wall mentally like this. This was really, really bad. And about 10K left, which at that pace was going to take about 3 hours. Um, I saw a convenience store and I thought they must have something warm. Like they have like hot packs or something. I got to buy something in this convenience store. But I was also wearing a dinosaur costume and it's like 5 in the morning at this time. I'm like, oh, this is so weird. So I took off the dinosaur costume, partially like tied it around my waist. So she was like, oh, you must be really cold. You're wearing it. I also had the emergency blanket still around me. And thankfully she recognized I was a runner. She knew what was going on. But anyways, that was kind of awkward. And I got yeah, some hot packs and I had them to warm my hands. I was in there for a bit and runners kept passing the convenience store saying, you good? You good? And I'm like, oh, I'm good. That was a big lie. But I got there, walked the last 10K, then my muscles were completely frozen. Like I couldn't even walk. It was probably close to like 18 minutes per kilometer at that point, just killing me. And yeah, I finally made it with 16 hours and 11 minutes. I finished, time limit of 17 hours. So that was a close
Wow.
one. That was very tough. Finished, right after I finished, came the 76-year-old runner who felt great after finishing, and he had 10 times as much energy as I did. And I thought, wow, you're 76. That's 7 times my age. That's not the right math. That's not the right math. But yeah,
Who
he's a
cares at
little bit
that
older
point?
than exactly. But yeah, overall, I succeeded. And a good thing about this race is at the end, they gave us a coupon for a delicious restaurant across the street, as well as a jinjibang or bathhouse, public bathhouse, whatever you want to call it. And so all the runners could go there, get naked together, and get in the hot tub, which is how it ended.
All's well that
But
ends
I was
well.
too tired. Yeah, I was too tired for the hot tub, so I just sat in a chair and slept beside the hot tub in the nude.
They have a chair. Oh, like the
Yeah,
chair
it's
that you
really
sit on
weird.
to wash yourself?
I
It's
guess
like a,
so. It
it's
was
like a
like
little stool.
this one was like a lawn chair. I don't know why it was in there, but I just kind of put my head down and this, yeah, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't know how long I was there, but I didn't get to enjoy the public bathhouse, to be honest. That was kind of disappointing. I was too tired because I finished at
Mm.
like 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning, something like that.
Did
So
they
I
have
had
like
been
a
up
time
for
limit on it when you had to use the coupon? Or did it have to
no,
be
but
right
everyone else went
after?
at that time. So I just went with I
Mm.
followed peer pressure and went with the flow and missed out on some good spa time.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I
Uh,
finished. No injuries. I recovered.
yeah. Congrats on that.
Thank
Finishing
you.
within the set time. 17 hours is a long time. And it sounded
Yeah.
like it was a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
When you were
Yeah.
like
One of the
really
biggest.
tired towards the end, when everything took way longer than it should have, did you get really grumpy?
I wasn't as grumpy this time, to be honest. I've been grumpy in the past and yeah, for quite a few races, but this time I wasn't that grumpy, to be honest. I was cold and very tired, but the grumpiness didn't come, which is surprising now that I think about it. It was more for the first time in a very, very long time. Like many people who run their first marathons, they'll experience this. Like you hit the wall, maybe it's around 30K, you start to feel, why am I paying money to do something like this? Why am I wasting my life doing something stupid like this? I'm a fool. And I haven't had those thoughts in a long time, but I definitely had those thoughts that day.
Questioning your decisions.
Yes.
Was it pretty flat?
Yes, yeah, it was well, yeah, in total there was about 600 meters of elevation gain, mostly in the
Okay.
far half where it wasn't too
Yeah.
cold. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. And I think I definitely ran too fast on those, like taking the whole race into consideration. Had there been no wind at the end, it would have been relatively okay, I think. I would have gassed out a bit, but I definitely took those hills with a bit of a greedy pace. So I kept running a lot of them at a slow pace, but I thought, okay, I'm doing well. I can get this. And then it just made the wall that much worse when the wall of the wind hit me.
How cold are we talking?
Not that cold, which is why I'm so surprised. It was the actual temperature was about maybe 2 or 3 degrees, but the wind started to
Mm.
get strong because it was the wind from the beach and a river nearby. And I think
Mm.
that mixed with the fact that we were running all night, and I definitely would have gotten a bit of sweat on those hills, and the fact that I couldn't sleep all night, just running the whole time, and just out there for so long in the cold, my body lost the ability to really heat itself up. So, like normally, if it's 0 degrees, it's uncomfortable, but I can survive in shorts. I don't want to, but I can. But this
Mhm.
time, even with my dinosaur costume, it was brutal.
Especially if you're moving pretty fast, I find the temperature doesn't matter a whole lot unless there's wind.
But
Once the wind picks up,
yes,
it can be like above zero, but be way worse than if it's a few degrees below zero, but without wind.
yes, exactly
So
that.
the wind makes a bigger difference than the temperature, I think.
I agree. That's my excuse.
And you started at what time?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. So what did you do for food this time?
Ah, yes. So, oh, this also was not, I don't know, if this is something I'd recommend. 26 hours before the race, I went to a buffet, had way too much. 24 hours later, I was still full, hadn't eaten yet. But it's about to run 100K. I probably shouldn't go on a 24-hour fast. So I had three hard-boiled eggs just before starting the race. And
Mm.
in the middle, they had some food. They had some like rice cakes. And they had at the 50K mark, they had like some extra rice and hot soup and I guess fish cakes, something like that in English. And it was like good food. And yeah, the food, I didn't feel hungry for most of it. I had a couple energy gels and my pickle juice as well.
Yeah, what's up with the
Um,
pickle juice?
oh, that's a tip I learned from a runner. Basically, it's good for preventing cramps. There's lots of
Mm.
electrolytes, things like that. It really just makes you feel great again. So I kind of
Really?
alternated at 20 kilometers an energy gel, 40 pickle juice, 60 energy gel. I was gonna have another pickle juice at 80 kilometers, but I couldn't move it. It tastes really bad at that point. It always drinking pickle juice is not good ever. I'm gonna be honest. It's not great, but especially after you've already had one and you start to feel gassy in the stomach, and it's like, oh, like, I just can taste it even 3 hours later, and my stomach feels like it's just digesting nothing but pickle juice. So that's not very nice. But yeah, that's how I nutritioned up for this race.
Last question. Would you do it again?
Yes, I
I
think
thought so.
I've already signed up for my next one.
Right after, once you woke up
Yeah,
from the coma.
basically, yeah.
No
Yes.
stress.
And another fun fact is a few days after the race,
Mm.
I looked at my shoes. Also, they were kind of ripped at the back before even starting, so that could have also contributed a
Mm.
bit. And then I looked at my shoes, and for once, it's good I didn't wear really thin sandals because there was a fishing hook in my shoe. So sometime during the run, a fishing hook had gone into my shoe, and I don't know how long I was running like that. I'm very, very lucky that it didn't pierce my foot for 100 kilometers, and the walking for the rest of the trip to not to mention that. And it was days after I got home, I started to just finally go and wash the shoe. I thought, what is this? And it wouldn't come out, and it took a long time of pulling it. But the shape was not just like it looked like it was just a pin, but then it started like curving, and I thought, oh, what is this? And it was just a fishing hook inside my shoe with a bit of the line on it. So I almost got fished.
Some kid was probably like, I got a big one, Dad. However you say that one in
It's
Korean.
prehistoric.
Okay, I guess it's my turn.
Yes.
And so I didn't do anything nearly as crazy as you did. I did a themed run. That's where you run like some kind of shape. And this one was for International Women's Day, which is on March 8th. It's an international holiday. And uh, I'll start with the distance. So we did 23.8 kilometers, 3.8. And where the route
Uh,
was, it went around kind of the middle of Beijing. And we went through a lot of the alleys in Beijing and along a lot of the historical sites and stuff. The footage from it is up on the YouTube channel, which you can see at youtube.com/at Nick Angiers. See it on there. I just take first person footage and I'll do like little 10-second shots along the way and then just put it into like a montage, basically. Or that's what it is without any editing, because editing is a pain. But yeah, I'll put it on my forehead. It's an action cam called Insta360. Anyway, so we had actually a pretty big turnout for this one. They're usually like 20 plus people. This one was mostly women because of the holiday, but there were a few men, of course. And these ones are very chill because you're running through a city, right? So you're going to be stopping to cross the street and stopping for lots of group photos and that kind of thing. Sometimes we'll even take like a subway tunnel where you go down underground and then use that to cross the street. We even took a group photo in one of the subway tunnels. Yeah, yeah. So the pace is really slow. The average came out to like 8 minutes a kilometer or something like that, and you can totally just chat along the way, and you sign up for it as an event rather than through a club directly. With a club, you kind of already know the people that are in the club, but with an event like that, it's a lot of random people. So it's a good way to meet new runners and make new friends that way. And you go slow enough that you can chat along the way. And it was great. The scenery was awesome. The weather was pretty perfect. I think it was a few degrees. And once you see the footage, you can see kind of how beautiful Beijing is. And I like these routes because I wouldn't normally go to these places in Beijing. I've been to them all a lot of times, but on these runs, it's kind of like a day tour of Beijing for like $20. And then they always give you a race kit. I don't know why, but they give you a bunch of free stuff. They give you a shirt. I think I only got a shirt because I asked not to get a medal. I don't need a medal every time I do one of these. And then they'll give you hand warmers and a pair of gloves every time. One of those disposable raincoats, just like a bunch of stuff that I've been accumulating because I do a lot of these events with this club. And then after that, they do like some stretches. They do have this kind of quirky, I don't know what you'd call it, like a segment at the end where they have a finish line, and then everyone gets to like sprint across the finish line, and then they'll take a photo of you and put it in the group so you can use it for social media or whatever. And then they have these refreshment stations along the way, so it's actually quite well organized. Like the I think it's the one coach who was leading us. He's the one who plans the routes, and he's done this one so many times. It's in the shape of a heart. I don't know if I mentioned that. Yeah, this route was in the shape of a heart. I did the same route for Mother's Day last year. This time it was for International Women's Day. So they also do it for Father's Day, and then each year for the holiday they'll do it like a few times. They'll do it once on the holiday, and then once on the other day of the same weekend, and then like the following week. So they know this route really well. He didn't even need to look at his phone. Um, and for some of the newer ones, he'll be on his phone. But after you finish it, it really looks like what it's supposed to be. And I tried doing it on my own, but I was doing it way too small, and it just looked like crap. So you really have to go in a huge arc and then zoom out, and then it really looks like the shape that you're supposed to be running. But yeah, they're quite well organized. They have the refreshment stations every 7 kilometers or so, where they have drinks and snacks and stuff. And then one of the guys on the team is always on a walkie-talkie talking to the other people. I think he really just likes to be on a walkie-talkie, or he likes the word.
Anyone would.
Yeah, but they're very helpful. Like they know where all the bathrooms are, and they time everything, so they only have a few minutes for each refreshment station, and then you're going again. It's quite well coordinated, and they're only like $27 each time. Yeah, so it's a fun way to spend a Saturday morning or whatever. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I have a few questions.
Okay.
First off, you said you got the t-shirt because you said no to a medal.
Yeah.
So do you have a very, very large collection of t-shirts now? Or just is your
Mm.
collection of medals also very, very large, or how are your
Mm.
collections?
I'm going to divulge a secret.
Oh,
I don't actually keep the medals. I take a photo or a
for
quick
those of
video
you,
and then recycle it because it's just
for those
a
of you
finisher medal,
listening,
right?
I'm speechless. Yeah.
And yeah, some people will be appalled by that because it's like a memory of this thing that you did. If I get like an actual placement medal, like my place, eighth or something like that, then I'll definitely keep that. But if it's just for finishing it, it's not really an accomplishment to me. Like, yeah, of course I finished it. Yeah, or an ultra, that's a little bit different because that's
Mhm.
really challenging. Another reason is when I first started running marathons and half marathons, I was a digital nomad. So I couldn't really carry all these medals around with me. It didn't really make practical sense. And it made less sense to, mail them back to Canada or something like that, where I had a fixed mailing address. And they'll just go in a box in a closet, and I'll probably never take them out and look at them anyway. And I plan on doing a lot of these races throughout the next, 20 plus years. So that's a lot of finisher medals, right? And it's just not something that's really important to me. So the one I'm doing in May in Ireland, they actually ask you. This is the first time I've signed up for a race where they ask you if you want the medal or not.
Oh,
And yeah, so I opted out of that. And for this one, I know them pretty well at this time, so they're like, okay, we'll just give you like a T-shirt with their team logo on it. I guess I'm the
oh, okay.
designated English interpreter because we do sometimes have people from other countries that don't speak Mandarin, so I'll do a bit of interpreting for them. So I guess I'm officially part of the team.
Oh, cool. So the T-shirt is from the team, not specifically
Yeah,
for International Women's Day.
correct. It's for the team.
Oh, okay. Right. That makes sense. Then was there anything specific, I guess, other than drawing, running in the shape of a heart, was there anything
Mm,
else specific for this International Women's Day, or just a general theme for the run?
mm, really, the only other difference was there was a much greater proportion of women this time,
Oh, yeah, fair
which I
enough.
can't complain about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a good vibe, and we did see other groups too that were obviously doing it for the same reason. Like there was one group where it was all women, like 40 women running a different route. And we lost one guy along the way. I think it was because of that group of 40 women. He got
Oh,
sidetracked, distracted.
I that can happen.
Yeah, very fun. And they're a good group. They've got a good vibe. I plan to do some more with them. Check out the video online. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
And I have done one more since then. Sure, I'll give a minor spoiler. It's my first trail run in China, and it was very snowy.
Oh,
So there's snow coming.
okay. I'm excited to hear about that. I guess I can give a little teaser. This past weekend in Seoul was the Seoul International Marathon. I did not run it.
Mm, okay. You were still
Yeah,
recovering from your MK?
it's too hard to register now, so I didn't get to
Uh,
register. I did go to cheer and actually end up running along the way to cheer and back. So I ended up going walking and running 50K that day. So that was a fun
take that.
experience. Yeah, most of it
I
was
don't need your
walking.
marathon.
Exactly.
I can
I
run it
saved
myself.
$100.
Yeah.
But yeah,
In
so
your
I had a good
face.
time cheering. Yes.